Welcome back to Steve and Jax.
Welcome back, guys. We are here with Scary Encounters number 1. This is actually take 2 because,
This is
um,
part 3.
yeah, part 3.
Right.
But, right.
Right. So obviously, guys, we had the first 2 series out. This is going to be about the apartments that we were staying at before we moved over here, which were some pretty nice apartments, but a lot of creepy stuff went on, and we're just going to break down a few stories about that.
Right.
First of all, this place is a really nice apartment off the highway near SeaWorld. And it's basically an apartment area that's surrounded by a wooded area that wraps around, okay? And there's a wood line that goes all the way across, and about half a mile of woods you could get to a McDonald's, and the other side you could get to a school, and then on the other side, the further side, is going to be where you go to SeaWorld, okay? So we really love this area. We always took the dogs walking, and we started to notice like there was this black cat that was always around the wooded areas. This creepily just staring there. As the darkest black cat I've ever seen, huge. And every time me and the dogs would go near, the dogs never bothered it, and it wasn't afraid of us. It just sat in the woods and kind of stared at us a lot, and it was really creepy.
It was always in the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've never seen a cat in the woods, but yeah, this cat was in the woods. So we talked to some neighbors and asked him about, his cats he had. He had a cat named Garfield, a big orange cat. And he was always, he was like, yeah, man, I don't know whose cat that is. I mean, the black cat never comes over here and eats. The other cats do, but that one doesn't. So we always thought that was kind of strange, but we shook it off. We were like, whatever. But we started walking around the woods areas, and there's different paths that you could take. And one time at nighttime, we go over there and we go on this one path, and we find a whole bunch of mattresses. Full brand new mattress.
Yeah.
There had to have been like 20 to 25 of them.
It's like someone that was just
kind of scattered. Some of them were stacked on top of each other. Some were just scattered. Right. But they're all in the back of this woods area. And I'm just thinking, like, some of them look brand new. They didn't look like they were living out there for years. But I was thinking, like, why is there 20 mattresses randomly in the back of our apartment complex in the wooded area? Some of them looking brand new. And there was people out there, and there, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're homeless people or if they were just like people that feels like it feels like there was something going on back there that was not good. That's what it felt like. So it was really awkward. But the weird thing is that at nighttime we were always going at nighttime, and we were always getting weird feelings. And one day I'm like taking T-Rex around to walk around the neighborhood, and we wrap up around the corner as soon as we get in the backyard, and we see this huge buck in the wood area. And it's not looking at us, it's looking off somewhere like it's stalking something, like it was stalking an animal or stalking a kid or something. I don't know what it was staring at, but I never seen a deer like stare so intently. And me and T-Rex walk around, and we see this big old buck with these huge antlers, and right away we just stop. And in a couple seconds, it just starts staring at us, right? And it's like mad dogging me. It's like staring at my soul. It's just looking at me, and T-Rex is like just sitting there in shock, like this, like not making a noise. And she would attack a grandmother if she could. She would bite a grandma in a heartbeat. But she wasn't making any noise. And this deer just stared at us for just like 30 seconds. It stared at us, and it had its huge antlers. And I'm just thinking, like, if it ran towards me, what am I going to do? I'm already thinking like my escape plan. And as quick as I walked around the corner and saw it, it just bounced off and jumped off into the woods, right? I don't even know how it's going through all these trees with as big as antlers, and it just takes off, and it was going super fast. I don't know how fast deer are, but deer are fast. That deer was huge and fast. So I was like, whoa, shoot. So I ended up telling Noah about it. I was like, hey, Noah, dude, there's this huge buck that lives in the woods, right? And just creeped the crap out of me. It looked like it was stalking somebody, and told him the whole story. So we're like, okay, whatever. So a few nights go by. We've been there for a couple years. So over the time, we were just going through these different trails and stuff. One goes to the school, a couple go to the McDonald's, and then some go off to the SeaWorld area. And we saw this one trail, and we wanted to show Carter one time. So it was like 10 o'clock at night, and for some reason, we loved going at nighttime. It was just fun for us. We didn't really feel afraid or anything, so we were like, other than those odd little, mattresses back there and stuff, and weird people back there, I was like, it's gonna be okay. So it's 10 o'clock at night, and someone's telling me, hey man, hey, go on that trail. You know, something like a voice in my head. Go on that trail, take the kids. You know, go have some fun. So I'm like, hey Carter, no, you don't want to go over there and hit up that trail? And Noah's like, yeah. So we're running. We go down there, walk a race a little further down, and we're walking down the trail, and I get this odd feeling. Like as soon as I get on, I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Why the heck is this feeling telling me like, man, you need to get off this trail? And I was just thinking like, what the heck, man? So I didn't want to scare the kids, so I'm just telling them like, hey man, something's coming for us, and joking around with them and kind of getting them to go a little faster, because this trail would go to the sidewalk towards the SeaWorld area. And for a few minutes I got this feeling, and we make it to the end. Okay, so I'm just like, whew, what's that about, right? So it's a short little trail back, like a 5-minute trail walk, or you could walk all the way around. It would take, you know, about an hour, or like I guess about a mile to get around to the McDonald's and back to the front of our apartments. But for something telling me, man, don't go back. So I listen to my gut feeling, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to walk around. I'm telling them, and they don't really say anything about not going or going around. So as we're walking down the sidewalk, what do I see? I look to the right, and down in the darkness, right in the middle of this field, that same buck that me and T-Rex ran into is just staring at us in the middle of the field. And it was kind of hard to see, because it was like, you know, 100 feet away, and it was just staring at us. And I was just thinking like, what the heck is that, man? Why is that buck staring at us? I'm like telling the kids, hey man, do you see the deer over there? You see it right there? It's like you can only see like the outline of it, because it's like pitch black. And I was like, man, what the heck, man? And right away I'm thinking like, is that the one I was worried about? Like, was that the one that I was like thinking was gonna come chasing at us or something? So I'm like, okay, let's walk down the sidewalk. We go down to the right, and it's a long street going down to the McDonald's. As we walk along there, it goes along that wooded area. And sure enough, I start hearing like noises, like whistles along the path, right? But the thing is, we're on a sidewalk, and right next to it, it's dense woods. There's no path area around there. So whatever this thing that's whistling at us now is like right next to us, like 5 to 10 feet next to us on the outside in the wooded area. But it's not making a lot of noise. You can't hear it making noise. There's no path for it to go on.
Right.
It's keeping up with us, and we're kind of like basically jogging at this point, because we're like, what the heck is going on? And it was just, and it whistled about 4 or 5 times trying to get our attention and stuff. So I jumped in the back of the line, and I let the kids go first, and we finally got to the end of the street. They're running into McDonald's, and I'm walking towards in between these two wooded areas to get to McDonald's, and I feel like something that's staring at me, that's watching me, like pissed off, like that's angry and wants to get us. And I look over there, and I kind of like cuss it out. I'm like, not today, man, you ain't getting us today. And go over into the McDonald's and we meet them over there. And then again, we walk down the side of the lines. I was like, we're not going back in that woods. But at the end of it, we kind of pieced it all together. Like, there was that big deer that was like hunting something, and that same deer, for some reason, when we got on that path, someone was telling me to get off of it, and we see that same deer that's staring us down. And to end up with that same thing, we're walking down there, and something's whistling at us, trying to get our attention to go back in. There's just too many similarities of stories of people going missing in woods and stuff, as far as like hearing noises and getting kind of attracted to go somewhere, that it kind of pieced it all together. I feel like there was something trying to get us.
Yep, it's pretty scary. Put it a real story that happened. Yeah, we went to the forest, and Dad saw that buck, and he like actually called it, like for some reason just like heard some howling in the woods. That's what he said. But like I did also hear a whistle just like him, and I mean, it was creepy. It was really.
And obviously, if you heard any scary stories or anything about missing people in the woods, you heard something similar like this. And later on, I learned about all this stuff after we left the apartments. But I feel like it was a knot deer. Have you ever heard about the knot deer? It's like these creatures that live in the woods that are not deer, that go attacking people. And I'm starting to think that black cat that we saw too, that was living in the woods, was probably something in disguise as a black cat or something. But that wasn't even the end of it. So one of the main reasons why I ended up leaving there is because I'm in the restroom, and I'm about to take a shower. I'm getting dressed, and my wife and kid are in the bedroom, and Noah, for some reason, I mean, you might want to tell your side of the story of how it happened, but I'm in the restroom during the thing, and down the hallways, our living room and the kitchen area, and he's looking for me.
Mm-hmm. So like you said, so I was looking for him, and so I come from the living room, and I'm walking down the hallway, and then I am looking at the living room with the TV and all, and there's a elephant painting that we have
on the wall. We have an elephant wall on the living room wall.
Yeah. And I see like a hand, like a pretty, like a muscular right hand, arm. No, not a hand, an arm.
Like a whole arm.
A whole arm, just holding the painting for some reason.
Holding the painting in the air.
Holding in
and like
the air.
staring at it, looking at it.
And I only saw its arm, and I was like, wait, Dad?
So I hear him say, Dad, like he's calling me. I'm like, I'm in here, the restroom. I'm in the restroom. I'm over here.
And then I'm like, wait, what? So I look to the restroom door, and I look back, and it's gone.
So as soon as he turns to the left and looks and sees me and looks back, the arm's gone. But the painting that was floating in the air ended up falling to the ground.
It was in the ground now.
Not on the couch, above the couch. It flew on the ground.
It was on the ground, yeah.
So I'm like, what the heck happened, son? What's going on?
I told him this. I told him and my mom the story, and it was just quick. And then nothing else happened. I just saw an arm, and then once
it was just staring at this painting. And the fact is that that I heard him call my name, like he was calling me towards there, and then the painting was down there. And the other stuff that I've been experiencing outside there, I mean, I gotta believe it. Like, it's really hard to sit there and say anything else happened with the painting. Like, it's happened to coincidentally fall when he was claiming there was an arm carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, like, what the heck was that arm that was carrying the painting?
That looked like my dad's arm. It actually really looked like my dad's arm.
That's crazy.
It was holding
up crazy.
The painting like that.
So we all get freaked out, and my wife wants to throw away the painting. Somehow she's thinking the painting's like a cursed or something. So I was like, oh, that's silly. I mean, like, obviously I don't think it's the painting, but we end up getting that painting still to this day. But yeah, sure enough, like, I used to like lay on the living room, and I would have the back porch area where the woods are, the door open, and I would get this feeling all the time, like something's that's watching me watch my videos or whatever the YouTubes I'm watching all night long, and I would fall asleep with the door open, and I'll wake up and I regret it now. Like, I was like, I don't know what I was thinking, because I don't know what could have got me, what could have happened to me. But I remember, man, like waking up a couple times and having nightmares over there.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy stuff going on there. But later on, I'm telling my boss at work, hey, we're living in these apartments. I tell him about the not deer story, and I'm like, hey, man, that there's something out there, like, not human. And he looks up online, and he sure enough, about 6 years before we moved there, there's a lot of articles about people seeing creatures, like Bigfoot creatures out there and stuff in the middle of woods. And I didn't realize how big the woods is, but we ended up going to SeaWorld, and we're on top of one of these like water towers on the top of these on the high top area with the stairs and stuff.
Right.
And we look over, and there's this on the other side of McDonald's. There's this huge forest.
Humongous.
It's a huge wooded area. Like the part that we're in, it's about a mile within a mile around the circle of woods. But across there, there's still tons of woods. So what I'm thinking that night that we were walking on the path, whatever that thing is was speeding towards us, and I got that feeling, jumped off, and before it got to us, and it was staring us down. And we were walking down the other side. It was trying to whistle us and yell at us and get our attention. And later on, it visited us in our apartment, and it was staring at some painting in our apartment and watching me sleep. So
maybe trying to like mimic my dad's arm or something. Like, it's strange.
It's very strange.
Very strange.
Very strange.
Very creepy. And I hope I never experience anything like that again.
And then come to think of it, we did go in the woods and we found a whole bunch of sticks piled together. We're talking about like 1,000 sticks that are all like piled up into little shapes and stuff. And
yeah.
There's a lot of
I
crazy
remember
things
that.
going on. I mean, we always talk about going back and checking it out, but I don't know, man. It's just something I don't really want to go check out. But I think we got lucky. I think whatever that deer was hunting people down there, and
It was hunting us, trying to get us.
and whatever those mattresses are doing back there, there's some bad people doing bad things back there. So I don't know what's going on, but that wood area is dangerous, and you gotta be careful where you're at.
And
Even your
guys,
own backyard.
Yeah, even your own backyard. There was some stories that like even we have. But yeah, that's gonna end it for today's video, today's scary encounters. But sorry for like the lighting and everything because it got dark outside real quickly. So I was like,
Sun
just
went down.
trying to make it pretty more bright to be able to see my face a little bit clearly. But it's fine, guys.
But we're gonna do one more wrap up and
Apologies.
kind of like talk about what we think it could be and what we believe it is and what's going on and based on other stories that people tell, because it's not just us.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're not the only ones that run into things in the woods and
to plenty of people. Yeah.
things messing around the house. I mean, I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. So we just wanted to get our story out and let you know of all the creepy things going on in our
So
places.
that's gonna wrap up today's video. Yeah.
Thanks for your time, guys.
I'll see y'all in the next video we're gonna make.
Hope you enjoyed.
Yeah. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.